Welcome back. How y'all doing? Long time no see, my friends. It's been a little while, about 5 minutes. Let's talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Someone said, what is the fear and greed at? Let's take a look. Actually, it's a good question. Fear and greed index, Bitcoin. 54. Well, better than I thought. I thought we'd be in a gutter. I thought we'd be like at 5. Now, all jokes aside, 54 is our fear and greed. Last week it was at 57. So kind of in the neutral, which just kind of explains how people have been feeling. Like, should I be bullish? Should I be bearish? What am I doing? Am I shorting? Am I longing? Am I making money? Am I losing money? There's one coin that in my portfolio that's crushing it. It's none other than Tau. Tau doesn't care. Tau doesn't care about Bitcoin. Tau doesn't care about Trump. Tau doesn't care about China or trade wars or really anything else. It's just kind of doing its own thing. Massive breakout on huge volume spike. Got up to $400. Now, the important thing here, guys, is we close above 346.70. If we do not close above 346.70, we're more than likely coming back down to like 290, probably closer to 300. We do have this low here around 314. We have this other low, this little pit stop we had, 330. But to me, the big number, guys, is 346.70. That is the top end of this range. If we can close above this level, we essentially have broken out of this very long consolidation pattern. This was essentially a bull flag going back to Sunday, April 6th. So we're talking about a half year, 6 months of consolidation, essentially trending down / sideways price action. And what you love to see, you guys, what you love to see is this massive volume spike. 270,000 Tau tokens were traded. Relative to the rest, 83,000, 100,000, 85K. So we've 3x essentially our trading volume. This is all great news for Bittensor. And the fact that this thing is rallying while Bitcoin is bleeding, while alts are getting destroyed, ETH is about to go below 4K. Bittensor showing strength, man. And so you guys know we've been in a Bittensor long since $300, currently up 181%. I think we're our P&L is $1,400. And I don't plan on closing this thing out until at least, I actually probably am not going to close the whole thing out. I'll probably take 25% off the table at $460. Like ideally $1,000. I know that's a pretty big round number, but $1,000, I truly believe it. And it's going to go way past that in my opinion. But closing this trade at a 1K would be a pretty big trade in terms of P&L. Our XLM position is deep in the red. That's probably going to get closed out, but that's okay. I mean, obviously we couldn't see this whole Trump thing coming. Expect more volatility around his announcement time, right? He said 3 p.m. Eastern, which is in 15 minutes. And he said 5 p.m. Eastern, which is in 2 hours and 15 minutes. So expect volatility there. Be very careful. I wouldn't try to front run what he's going to say. because chances are that either he'll say what you think he's going to say and then the markets will react the opposite, or vice versa. So yeah, this is Bittensor on the market cipher B, guys. This looks great. Money flow just crossed over into the green, crossed back over into the green. We should see a big expansion there. RSI, stochastics off the charts, bullish. Let's go to the weekly. Green dot on the weekly. VWAP, massive expansion to the upside. Money flow, waiting to get that green crossover to the upside. Let's check the weekly PA on Bittensor. Bittensor. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. I would be more keen to call this a kind of a symmetrical triangle to some degree. Excuse me, a descending triangle, and call this little spurt here a little deviation. This should have broken to the downside, by the way, and it's not. It's breaking to the upside. Again, increased volume. I don't know how many more times I got to say it. Very bullish on Bittensor. Let's check the lower time frames. Again, 347.1, 4 hours rolling over just a little bit. As you can see here, our momentum indicators. Money flow is still expanding to the upside. VWAP kind of trending down. We'll see if we'll see a little bit of a reversal there. Let's look at the 2 hour. Bounce on the 2 hour. Bounce on the 1 hour. 1 hour actually looks pretty good. The one thing I will say on the 1 hour though, guys, is keep your eye out for a potential short trigger wave. Right, we kind of have a overextended momentum wave with a red dot. Now we're looking to see where this momentum wave comes. Currently sitting at 45. Can this thing come up? Smaller trigger wave with a red dot, that would be a short entry signal. I don't know if that's going to happen, but something to keep an eye out on. This is on the 1 hour. Money flow looking healthy on the 1 hour. VWAP, we want that crossover. It's at -9. Let's go to the 30 minute. Ooh. 30 minutes giving us a long entry. Here's your anchor. Here's your trigger. Candle session is not closed yet, so we don't want to prematurely. We got 13 minutes, so we're keeping our eye. See how it kind of disappeared and came back? We're going to keep our eye on this. 13 minutes. We're going to see if this holds. Should be a long entry for Tau if you're not already in a long on Bittensor. So keep an eye on there. And then let's check the 15 minute as well. Deep money flow expansion to the upside. Seeing a bounce on the RSI here as well on the 15 minute. This thing looks great, man. This thing looks great. The only thing is a 4 hour. 4 hour looks a little more bearish than the 2, 1 and lower. Daily looks good, and the weekly looks good as well. Again, 30 minute, I'm going to keep this here, and I'm just going to open up a new chart because I want to come back to that, see if that's another long entry. We can tell you guys, in case you don't have Market Cipher, you can see that there's a long entry there or not. What did I have on the thumbnail? Because I don't want you guys to think that I am... AAVE and XLM. Okay, let's take a look at that. Oh, my aunt's calling me. Sorry, auntie, can't talk to you. Okay, let's start with XLM. We front run a breakout and didn't work out. I think it was on the weekly. Yeah. We front ran this breakout, which, guys, that just goes to show you, man. Even someone who's been trading for a long time, we still make the same dumbass mistakes. So yeah, we tried to front run this thing. It didn't turn out, right? We got rejected right at that trend line. But ultimately, I expect this is going to break out. And again, we're targeting 70 cents. Let's look at some money flow. Ooh, I'd watch for, no, never mind. Pretty flat on the momentum indicators here. VWAP looks like it was getting ready to cross over to the upside, but it kind of did a U-turn. It's like, nope, flattening out on the weekly. Let's check the daily. Deep money flow expansion to the downside on the daily. Same with the VWAP. A little bit of an M here on the RSI. So we'll see a bounce and then probably more downside for XLM if that pattern holds. We're, of course, talking about the relative strength index. Let's check the price action on the daily. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, I mean, the daily gave us two nice bounces, man, and then we gave it all up. So, what up, Trade Fly? I'll be on a show in like an hour and 10 minutes. Also, Crux, what's up, bro? How you guys doing? Is there anything you want me to take a look at? Throw it in the chat. I'll take a look at ADA, and then I'm going to look at AAVE as well because it's on the thumbnail. We want to put in this higher low here on XLM on the daily. Let's check our... We have a chance... Kind of thinking out loud here. Where's the volume coming in? Okay, good news. We're not too far off from another large volume node here. Oh, I wish you guys could have seen what fucking Rob was just doing. He gets so excited to spend money, and then the packages get here, and he gets even more excited to put them together. Pretty large volume node here. Right at 36 cents even. That would give us our higher low. If we don't reach that, though, we have some strong support a little bit below that as well, at around 34, I'll call it 35 cents. So this is a great support area for XLM. As you can see, we saw two bounces here. Another bounce on a wick and a close, and then another wick down here. So we're not too far off from potentially seeing a really nice bounce out of XLM. Let's throw on our cloud. Let's get rid of our volume. Cloud looks ugly on the daily. Let's check the weekly. Ooh. Some confluence here on the weekly as well. Let's see. We are currently at our 26-day moving average, actually trading a little bit below. 26 MA sitting at 36.87. We're currently at 36.47. Should hold that support. And then we have some confluence here, right? Our kind of support zone, 35 to 36 cents, which also happens to be where the top end of this cloud is. And you can see last week we caught support there. Nice bounce up to around 41 cents. Expecting the same. So XLM looks close to a bottom. Now, of course, Trump comes out, press conference, shits on everyone, shits on the markets. This could very well give way. But we're crossing our fingers that he doesn't. He's seen how the markets reacted earlier. He might come out and try to bullshit his way into some bullish thing. You know what will be interesting, by the way, if I'm speculating here? What would be very interesting is if he comes out and says, we made the decision, we're going to airdrop $1,000 checks out of the tariffs. That would move the markets to the upside. But at this point, we're speculating. We don't know what he's going to say. So just make sure you have tight stop losses set, because it can go either way. All right, let's look at AAVE. AAVE, one of the most fundamentally sound projects in all of crypto. Let me clean up my chart here just a little bit. We'll give it a you. We'll hide you. We'll hide you. All right, we've officially entered into our cloud. I was like, what is that? Okay, there we go. Our weekly, okay, 3-day we're in the cloud. Weekly, we're still looking good, seeing a bounce off of our 26 MA at 257. We'd have some support sitting here at 234. This is a really nice V-shaped recovery for AAVE. It's a beautiful V-shaped recovery, putting in consecutive higher lows. If we can, I mean, we're here. If we put in a lower low here, it's officially the uptrend has been broken. So ideally, we want to stay where we're at. Literally where we're at, 260. Let me drop a line here. We can keep the integrity of the chart and the macro trend of it being up if price can stay above 260. If it cannot, then we are officially in a downtrend on a longer time frame. Let's check. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see. Move along. Market cipher. Money flow looks healthy on the weekly. Weekly could right now be giving us, when the trading session ends on Sunday, a trigger long entry on AAVE on the weekly. We have our anchor wave. We're waiting for the trigger wave. Currently, it's sitting right here at 5.5. Right, and again, it's hard to tell. You know what? Let me see if I can show you guys. So I've removed everything. You can see the momentum waves here. This would be an ideal trigger wave on the weekly if we can get that green dot. If we can. That's a massive long signal from Market Cipher. So keep that in mind. And the RSI doesn't look overheated, which is good. Let's throw back on our VWAP and our money flow. And so keep your eye on that on the weekly. Let's check the daily on AAVE. We could be getting a trigger entry on an AAVE long on the daily as well. As you can see here. This thing is extending, though. We'll see where it stops. Can we get a green dot? If it stays like this, wouldn't be an ideal trigger wave, but still, nonetheless, would be a trigger wave. Let's check price action on the daily. So for this one, I'd be looking, if you're looking at a directional bias, I'd be looking at a long, unless 260 falls. If we close a daily below 260, then I would look for potential shorts. But yeah, let's check the daily here on AAVE. Massive volume node. Yeah, look at that. We're currently trading below our previous week low, which is sitting at around 265. And we're coming into a pretty large order block here. Around 17% of all trading activity happen here. With shorts, with the bears outpacing the bulls. So I think AAVE is at an inflection point, guys. We're in the equilibrium zone. We're at a big volume node here. And previous week low, right, or our previous local low is right at 260. So to me, this is an AAVE. It's a make or break. What's going to happen? Make a decision. Let's check the 4-hour. And I'm more curious on the 4-hour to look at some of these momentum indicators. I mean, your momentum indicators are like bottomed out. I mean, there's really not much lower it can go. We have set consecutive lows on our momentum waves here. But is the bottom in? Is the bottom in? We shall go to the lower time frames. Again, not much lower these can go. They reach that zero and you see a bounce. We're at zero. Do we see a bounce? Right? Zero, bounce. Zero, big bounce. That's on the hour. Let's check the 30 minute. Again, zero. Do we get a bounce? Zero. Do we get a bounce? We're getting a bounce on the 10 minute. A little bit of a bounce, but this can totally reverse. As we saw here, a little bit of a bounce, reverse, bounce, reverse. Putting in lower lows on the stochastics and the RSI. 3 minutes seeing a bounce, green dot. And I think AAVE's bottom, man. I think this thing is bottom, guys. I really do. You're starting to see on the lower time frames, look at the fall in volume. You're starting to see kind of a rounding, right? Rounding out the bottom here. And it's happening at a very important level. If we didn't have the freaking Trump press conference, I got a notification on my phone. We're out on our XLM trade officially. The market's turn, man. I think AAVE's going to run back up to like 285. Be a nice long. So I'll be looking to long the shit out of AAVE here. I'm just a little worried, man. 12 o'clock. Let's see. Let's pull up X. What is Trump talking about? Trump. Any announcement? He said 3 p.m. Eastern, and it's 3 p.m. Eastern. Is Trump going to any updates on Trump announcement? Let's go to latest. I'm not seeing it. I mean, I'm trying to see what kind of news. I'm sure, I don't know if he's doing a press conference or if it's going to be just an announcement on social media, on Truth Social. Oh yeah, let's pull up Truth Social. That's usually where he posts first. I want to create an account. Do I have an account? I don't have an account. I don't want to. Okay, so nothing from Trump. I was hoping to maybe see something. But if you guys see news, please throw it in there. Throw it in the chat if you guys see news or an update on what Trump's announcement is. Because that can determine whether AAVE has bottomed or AAVE has not bottomed. And you can see the S&P fell down to 6,600. So it's down. Let's look at the S&P. We don't really look at macro. Let's look at macro. Ooh, what an ugly day. Down 2% on the S&P. That's a pretty big move. Structure is strong. It's strong. Yeah, this thing is not slowing down, right? You see, like, the pullbacks are short-lived. Structure looks fine. Just what is Daddy Trump gonna say? Who's gonna pick on now? Gold, $4,000. God, Jesus, look at this chart. God. I mean, you want to talk about vertical? This thing has gone absolutely vertical. It chopped sideways a little bit around 3,300 bucks for like 120 days, and then it's just been all-time high after all-time high. Okay, enough of macro. Let's look at Cardano. I know I saw, damn, 77 cents. Ooh. Cardano's at an inflection point too. 200 AMA ribbon. Last time it got down here, it was a strong reaction. It rallied 16%. I will caution though, this is on the daily. This is, kind of have like a, here's your first M that essentially was invalidated, right? Because we didn't get into that bear flag, and you kind of have another M here brewing. Is that going to be a bear flag and then a push to the downside? I don't know. But this Cardano needs to bounce here. If Cardano loses his 200 MA, we've been trading above the 200 MA since July. But when we lost that back in April, we weren't above it until July. So we spent about 3 months below our 200 MA, which is what you don't want to see, especially in a bull market. Also, this kind of long-term symmetrical triangle pattern, we're currently outside of it. So the current break as it stands is it broke down. But again, we have support here. Let's see where our volume's coming in. That's a decent volume gap at our 200. We do have some volume here at our lower band, right at our third band, at around 72 cents. So could we see a wick down to 72? Maybe, but I would want to see like an immediate recovery from there, because on the way up you got resistance, ultimately potential resistance at 82 cents. And then you're talking about the top end of the range at 86 cents. Whichever way this breaks, and I have a couple of lines, the vertical line is kind of the end of this pattern if it plays out, November 3rd. Upside target is 99 cents. Downside target is 63.7 cents on ADA. So, yeah. Micro, 3,000, huh? Interesting. Very, very interesting. I want to check the chat. David lives and breathes crypto. Imagine a man doing this while living in Vegas. Yeah. I love crypto though. So it doesn't, when you love something, it doesn't feel like work. Someone said, look at XPL. Okay, plasma, right? Is that plasma? Oh. Is that a sign? Is that a sign? Clean up our chart here. Someone said XPL looks good, bro. This is. I mean, it's at a very strong support level. This is on the daily. Let's look at the weekly. This thing gave back everything. It's given back everything that it gained. And I mean, it just fell through two massive volume levels, right? One here and one here. It just like fell down the toilet. It was like, we're talking about potty training kids the other day. And Rob's idea was put them on the regular toilet. Well, they're gonna fall down because they're tiny. Well, this one just fell down the toilet. Is this a buying opportunity though? I don't know. Well, we're at the 786 from the entirety of the move. Like ideally, you want to measure from the breakout after the pullback, but obviously that's really not relevant. So we're at the 786. I don't know much about this fundamentally. The PA looks pretty shitty. Not enough info there. Let's check the 4 hour. Again, just like completely falling through these large volume areas, which is typically for me not a good sign. We're like, how much lower can it go on our momentum indicators? I don't know. This is not something that I personally have or I personally am interested in having. So yeah, those are the 1 hour. This is pretty brutal, man. I'm curious. I was hoping for a rich list. Let's see if any news on Trump. No news on Trump yet. Long term, it's a good project. I don't know. Petro said, see you bull run. Come on, man. Don't quit yet, bro. We got time. We got time, baby. What about Avalanche? Let's look at Avalanche. I haven't looked at Avalanche in a while. I still hold my AVAX. I'm not worried about AVAX. I don't think one bit. Where's AVAX? 26 bucks. There's a lot of shit going on here. Okay. Jesus Christ. Bye. Okay, we can stay here. It says AVAX on the daily. We have officially entered the cloud. This cloud is super thin. So, well, not super thin, right? This would be super thin. And then we saw that big move. We have some support here, at least from, if we're looking at support and resistance levels with the Ichimoku cloud, Bitcoin is falling under 117. Damn, this thing is falling fast. Let's go. We'll come back to this maybe. Let's go to Bitcoin. 3 minute. Give me the 1 minute, man. Inject that 1 minute right into my veins. $116.7. 6 heaven. If you have kids, always pick the dumbest shit. Hey dad, what? 6 heaven. Okay. 116.9 is a very important level, and if you look on the daily, well, we've lost the 50. Let's get rid of that. 116.9 is a very important level. If we don't hold 116.9, be prepared for 114. But again, anything can happen. Trump can come out and say he got circumcised and now he's fine, and we're going to meet with Xi Jinping and yada, yada. The market's turn, but we don't know. Just trying to see if there's any sort of news with Trump. I don't see anything. Let's search Trump. All right, it's a wait and see, I guess. Guys, the thing I'll say is be careful with your leverage. Have your stop losses, especially when you have a lot of volatility like this. I'll be on another trading stream in about 45 minutes. I'll be on TradeFly stream, so we'll see where Bitcoin is at then. Let me actually post the link in here. Pull up his page. Here's a link. Come join us. We'll be talking some PA and charts in there as well. As far as this show, we're done. Come back. Go to that link. We'll see you guys in a little bit.